This DVD Direct, it's $229 at the Sony website. We did find it at Amazon for $199. They say they have it in stock. It looks like a winner. If you get it, let us know what you think. Send us a review. But that looks like the latest and greatest and the way to go for $199. I'd say go with that. I'd say go with that even over the Go Video, unless you don't have a $199, you just have $119. So, but check it out. This is, I think, is the way to go. There's services out there that'll do it for you. They can be very expensive. The problem I have with the services sometimes, not saying anyone's ever done this or lost stuff, but you take a bunch of your old tapes in, you go back a week later, and the girl or the guy at the counter is scratching their head saying, I don't know what happened to your order. Well, you can't replace them. There's nothing you can do with them. At least these are at your house. You're doing them by yourself. You're doing one by one. They're not going anywhere. So check that out. Now, if you want to use a service, you don't want to do this by yourself. You have 100 tapes, 200 tapes, 20 tapes, 10 tapes, and you said, I don't have the time for this. No problem. Check out Scan My Photos. ScanMyPhotos.com or 30minutesphotos.com. They've got like 6 different names. I don't know. New York Times just wrote a great article in August about them. I've seen them around for years. Now, they do photos too, so you have a whole bunch of old photographs, and you want to get them in digital format, so you can email them, you can Photoshop them, you get them on your computer. You want to save them. That's what everyone should do. You set them here, and what you do is you fill up a box up to 1,000 photos, and for $49.95, for $50, they'll take 1,000 photos and scan them digitally for you, send them back as a DVD, and then you can do whatever you want with them. You put them in your computer as JPEGs. Go crazy with them. They also have the prepaid. They have their prepaid box, and it looks like, according to their website here, 1,600 snapshots for $124. So they send you a prepaid box. You fill up their box. You don't need your own box. It's already prepaid. It's done. You send them to 1,600 pictures. Everything you can shove in the box, they'll take. They send it through one of their high-speed scanners. These scanners, they have tens of thousands of dollars, the latest and greatest. They claim on the website here they've scanned over 8 million photos. I believe them. I mean, these guys have been around forever. They're out of Irvine, California. So if you have a bunch of old photos, you want to get them in to digital format, check this company out. They're great. So I've heard. I've never used them. Check them out. If you used them, hey, send us a note. Go to tiptopwebsite.com, click on CEO Video. On there, you'll see a little comment box. Fill it out. Say, hey, Dan, I use this company. It was great. Or, hey, Dan, I use this company. They lost my stuff. I have a feeling you're going to say it's great. They also have on here VHS to DVD transfer. So they can do it for you. Look at this. Individual VHS to DVD transfers, $24.95 per tape. It's fantastic. Or pre-filled, fill the box, prepaid, fill the box, $249 of up to 14 tapes. So we get basically getting 4 tapes free there. So for $25 a tape, you only got a few tapes. This may be the way to go. Again, you're sending them off. They're not in your house. You have a lot of tapes. I'd look into that Sony product we showed you about, the DVD MC5 or the Go Video. Again, I like to keep the stuff at the house so it's not lost in the mail. But this company has a great record, been around since 1990. Check them out. So they take everything. They even do slides. So if you old slides, growing up, my father was a photo buff. I mean, he carried around a Nikon camera with a bag and everything. We said, Dad, why are you taking so many pictures? Dad. Well, it turns out as you get older, you're saying, thank God you took so many pictures. This is fantastic. So now my mom's got all these old slides on carousels. What do you do with these? There's a company called Yes Video that I was telling you about. And their software's been around forever. But what they do is they transfer video to DVD. Let's take a look what their price is here. Video to DVD, $30 a video. So $29.95. And they'll include a really cool case and a really cool menu. But they also do film to DVD. So you have an old film, they got an old film they're playing, and they upscale it, which is great. You have the old 8mm films from years ago, they'll do that. Slides are tough to do. You need a leaf scanner for those. This company has a high-speed leaf scanner. Here's their price. I'm going to give you a better price, so hold on for a second here. $29.95 for the first 20 images, 60 cents per image after that. Slides are more expensive because they're not like photos. You can't just throw them in this gigantic machine. So $30 for the first 20 images, 60 cents image after that. That can get expensive quickly. They have resellers. If you look at their main website, and we'll put this in the show notes, yesvideo.com, they have Costco, fantastic company, CVS, Ritz, Rite Aid, Walgreens, Long's Drugs. Check out your local drugstore near you. They probably used it, Yes DVD. I know Costco I checked out recently. Costco does it for 35 cents a slide. It's like $20 for the first 40 or 50 slides, then 35 cents a slide after that. So on their website here, they're doing, what did I say, 60 cents? 60 cents a slide. Same company. Costco sends them to the same company, 35 cents a slide. So check that. If you have slides, this company's been around forever. I've used their software. Haven't used them as a company, but I've used their software. Awesome. So now you've got, we've gone from film, you've got tapes, you've got photos, you've got slides. You want to get them in digital format. Now you know how to. You can either do it yourself or use one of these companies. There's other companies out there, but we're telling you about the big boys out there. About your precious memories. You don't want to lose them. You don't want to go to some guy that's going to lose them or not do them right. You may find a local company. A local company would probably even be better because you're driving them down the street. The guy's probably not going to lose them. Check the prices though. Local companies sometimes charge a lot more because they don't have these huge machines that do it so fast. So anyways, that's my tip of the week on how to save old memories into the new digital format. I've done it myself, and I think it's a great thing to do. All right, every week I've got some crazy Hollywood story for you. I grew up in Northern California. That's probably where I fell in love with computers. About an hour outside of San Jose. My high school is where they tested the first internet service, Prodigy. This is back in the mid-'80s. So even back then, I loved computers. But I always wanted to be a Hollywood movie star. So the day I graduated from high school, I got my motorcycle and I drove to Los Angeles, and I waited to be discovered. Unfortunately, it took about 5 years. But in the meantime, I worked at nightclubs and met a lot of fantastic people. But I did get discovered about the second week I was down there to be featured in a fantastic movie called Less Than Zero. A lot of you may remember this movie with the Brat Pack, Jamie Gertz, Robert Downey Jr., Andrew McCarthy. Fantastic movie back in the 80s. I was in a nightclub dancing. A casting director came up to me and said, "You want to be in a movie?" I said, "Oh, of course, that's what I'm in Hollywood for." They said, "We have just the role for you. Come Monday to the set. 20th Century Fox is shooting this movie you'll be great for. Bret Easton Ellis wrote this book. They're doing a movie on it." I said, "Great. Boy, this Hollywood thing is easy." So I show up Monday morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, pictures and resumes. There's probably 1,500 kids, look just like me, goofy-looking dance clothes, all waiting to be extras in a dance club scene for this movie. So if you watch the movie closely, you'll see me throughout the movie walking around. Very tall and skinny guy. I had very short hair at the time, but I had a blast. I actually worked in the movie for about 3 months as an extra, and I really, really learned the movie business. Now, I went on to eventually co-host my own television show, but this was years before, and I really enjoyed working on this and learned a lot about the technical part of shooting a movie. Movie has so much to do with technology. Back then, they weren't using green screens, the fights, the nightclub scenes, everything was real. They really used 1,500 extras to shoot these movies. During the film, I met a guy named Chris Webber. Chris ended up being my roommate. He was a musician, struggling musician, trying to get an album cut. So anyways, he comes back to the apartment one day. He says, "Dan, we just cut our new first album. It's going to be great." And I said, "What's the name of the band, Chris? You always, changing bands." He says, "This one's a keeper. It's called Guns N' Roses." I said, "Guns N' Roses? I don't know. Is that a good name for a band?" He said, "The album's called Appetite for Destruction." I said, "I don't know if that's going to be a seller." Anyways, Chris Webber went on to be the lead guitarist of Guns N' Roses for the first album. He wrote Anything Goes, and the band eventually went their own way and hired someone else to play, but their There's a picture of the band without Chris. But Chris wrote the song Anything Goes, toured with the band for a short